Welcome to the NXT Podcast, your home for weekly NXT reviews and insight.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
Find all of your NXT news, recaps, and analysis right here. So with that being said, we only have one question for you.
Are you ready?
We thought so. Let's get the show started right now.
All right, everyone. This is Memphis Mark coming to you from Mullet Manor, and it's 5:23, and it's the NXT review, and let's get right into it. Actually, I've got a good show to talk about tonight. Good show. I'm very, very happy. They start off with the semifinals of the women's NXT Women's Championship, and it's Valkyria and Cora Jade. And you know what? They came out with this match. Now, Cora's got the walk in, she's got the look, and she's got the moves. And Valkyria is just a freaking she's all over the place. She's great, and she actually though had the first slip up in the match. She was going off the ropes and did a slip, and Cora covered up. So there was a couple of little mishaps in this match, but they both covered them up, which is a sign of maturity. They're getting it, and man, they might be closer than I thought. Man, it was they both can wrestle good. They're both selling good. Big drop kicks, just counters. It was just a good match. Now, I'm thinking, in my wisdom, I'm thinking they're going to have Roxanne versus Cora Jade. So, in the match, looked like it was heading that way. Cora had great moves. Valkyria, though, man, she is just a powerhouse. She is really a tactician. I mean, she is really good. All right, so the match is, go back and watch it. It is worth watching. It's a good strikes, good moves, good counters, and a good finish, and then even afterwards, we get a little drama with Cora ticked off that she lost. So she takes it out with the, what else? The kendo stick. And, as I said, man, after this match, the kicks were great. Drop kicks, just innovative moves, moves that were actually being done correctly. And it was a good match to watch. So Valkyria is going to end up winning this thing, which really surprised me. And that is why Cora Jade jumps her afterwards. But wow. I really like the match. So go back and check it out. Then you've got Dragunov. And he's whooping on Dijak. And he tries to take Dijak under the overhead door and repay him for a prior week there. But they stop him. And, it was pretty good segment, man. They do pretty good. Dragunov and Dijak, they have a good dance together. So, and they go to a commercial, and they do the tail of the tape of the upcoming match, which is Axiom and Daba Kato. 7'1", 5'9". It's 300 and something pounds. 175 pounds or whatever it was. Size shoe like 10. Other one 17 or whatever. I don't know exactly, but yeah. The tail of the tape don't lie. But yeah, that is the next match we've got coming up. And look, Axiom is freaking great. Well, if you're going to have this kind of a match with this big of a size difference, then you've really got to pull it off. And Axiom is always going to do something like that. He is just that good. Now, in this match, he starts immediately with the chopping down, the leg kicks, doing everything that he's supposed to. But, man, Dabo is, he could, I thought Von Wagner would for sure be the next big man out of there. But if Dabo can put some things together, he has all of the tools, the look, everything. So, hey, this match was what you would expect. A lot of running around, pop, and then eventually, Axiom gets caught. And when he gets caught, yeah, that's what happens. It's a big power bomb, I believe it was, or whatever it was. But Daba ends the match convincingly. So, it is what it is. You have to go, if you're going to have that kind of size difference, then you're going to see that kind of match. Now, Axiom makes it look good because he is Axiom. And he can really move around the ring, but you can only move so long before the size and the strength catches up with you. And that's what happened. So big power bomb or whatever his finishing move was, and that was it. And then they go back to Tony D. They're doing this. Tony D gets picked up by the funny police. Something funny about him. But he's in interrogation, and he's not going along with it. We'll see. But they got a tip on him. They got a tip. We'll see what the tip ends up being. I just don't know. This seems like it could work. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just have to see how this goes. But Sookie, they go into having Braun do one of his promos. And I love Braun as a heel. I think he's a lot better. He seems more natural as the bad guy. I just think his vocabulary goes with it. Everything points towards him being a good heel. And the babyface stuff, yeah, he went through that and he did a good job, but the true test is if you can pull off being a heel, if you can make the same people that were cheering for you throw things at you, and then you have officially become valuable enough to hit the main roster. All right, and we go from there. We go straight into a Gallus promo. And of course, did they set up Tony? Is that the reason the funny police are after him? Is that why? Who knows? Maybe a plot turn on down the road. But of course, you're gonna have the Creed brothers come in. And, Julius is good on the mic. He can handle the stick pretty good, but his brother is, well, let's just put it this way. He's not quite there yet. And they give him little dialogue to do. It seems to work with, but it just is what it is. Everybody can practice it and sit there and plan. But when the mic's in your hand, when you got the stick in your hand, things happen. Strange things happen. You start mispronouncing words. You stumble with your syllables. All things that I do on a weekly basis. So these guys are trying, and of course, when you put Gallus and the Creed brothers in a ring, they're going to have to fight. But there's 3 Gallus, 2 Creed. And the numbers, you never go against the numbers. And they tried, but out of nowhere comes Stacks. Because, Tony's kind of tied up with the funny police. So, so Stacks comes out there and gives him a hand and makes it a 3-man band. That was terrible. I'm sorry. But anyway, so pretty good little promo. As I said, so far the show, I have no problems so far with the show. And it's hard to say that a lot of weeks. It's hard to say that a lot of weeks. But anyway, this week we've got a good show. So, all right, so we get through with the Gallus and the Creed brothers, of course, and we'll see where that goes. And then you've got to do a Wesley promo, and of course you're going to have Tyler Bate in there, and some new guy. I don't know. Anyway, the whole thing, I don't know. It's just a little odd. Sometimes Wes, when he's speaking, if you'd have just told me this first, and then of course Tyler, and Tyler had a match tonight. I mean, Tyler had a match with a big dog in there. Very, very good up and coming. So they have all the drama before the match, and then to have a match. Yeah, so, hey, that is what they get paid the big bucks for. Yeah, when I was coming up, in the territories, of course, you'd have your traveling guys that would come in. They'd stay a month or 6 weeks or whatever. But I always enjoyed when the Native American wrestlers would come through. And, I go back to, Chief J Strongbow, of course, most people, Wahoo McDaniel, Tatanka, Chief Don Eagle. Look, I even go back to the, I don't know the correct way to say this. I'll just say little person wrestlers that they used to have. Little Beaver. There used to be one called Little Beaver. So I enjoyed the Native American because they always had the chops. They had the chops before Ric Flair had the chops. I mean, Wahoo and Strongbow and all these guys could just, they could lace you up and make that chest red. So, and they would echo through the Mid-South Coliseum. So, I loved it. But, and Eddy Thorpe is who Tyler is fighting tonight. And he has got, the entrance is a big deal. All right. The Freebirds are used to make an entrance, and, once they got in the ring, they were okay. But if Bam Bam wasn't wrestling, and, it was mainly just the Shitsuke now. It's the entrance, and Eddy Thorpe has got a cool Native American New Age entrance, and I really, really like it. I could see him getting a push, around Christmas or January, give him a little time to get seasoned. But tonight, Mr. Thorpe, you're going against the big strong boy. And, Tyler is just more experienced. But these 2 guys put on a clinic for a little while. Both very smooth. Tyler's just got the more experience. Just some great moves. You can't say enough about when you can get 2 guys that can really work together. And in NXT, what most people don't realize is these guys know that they're fighting for a spot. So they're trying to impress each week. It doesn't seem like it sometimes. That's just growing pains. But they're trying. They're trying to make a stellar match each week. But, man, this one was a back and forth. Eddy really, really put on a good show. Tyler's going to win this, and because they're building something up. But Eddy put put on. Mr. Thorpe did a great job in this. And, of course, you're going to have Gacy. Casey's going to jump in and throw down. And then, of course, Wes, which is out doing commentary, he's going to jump in. And, well, they do it at the awkward time where Mr. Gacy can recover, and he takes them both out. And then he ends up holding the title up. A good match, good ending, good writing. You got Noam Dar versus Nathan Frazier. And look, both of them are good. Now, Nathan, to me, is just freaking great. I was not aware that one of his bigger trainers has been Seth Rollins. They mentioned that tonight on air. If that's true, I could see it. But at first, it's all Nathan. And then later on during the commercial break, Noam, he comes on, and he does, look, Mr. Dar does a kind of a Ronnie Garvin stomp in this. He takes each arm and each leg, kind of just his modified version of it, which, hey, is great. The match is good. They go back and forth. Of course, he's got that big Heritage Cup sitting outside. Dragon Lee, which is his opponent at Battleground, comes out, does a little distracting, and wham! And Nathan Frazier wins the match. But man, this is a good match. Like, I tell you, sometimes you only get one or two good matches out of this, and you got some good ones. You got the Dragunov promo in the locker room, and Dijak comes in. Not bad. A Mello promo. He's back home. He's in Mass, and talking about Boston Strong. They do a little video package of him, like a homecoming package, and even got Wahlberger on there, and a good little package. Got him going around to all the local TV stations and radio stations doing all the promo work there. But hey, it's a good little package. Made him look good. And he's going to be back home there. But then you have the Brooks and Jensen Invitational. the Hank Walker versus Tank Ledger. Two Division I football players that have taken the advice of two very metrosexual rednecks and said that maybe you should fight like brothers. So that's what they do. So you got Hank Walker and Tank there. Hank and Tank. And they go at it, and it's a little awkward. It's I would say it's watchable, and it's kind of comical. But it is probably the worst match on the card today, and that says pretty good. That's pretty good. They do some moves, bang some heads. It's kind of funny to go back and watch. So there again, check this out. But there's a cliffhanger. Braun shows up, Braun Breaker, and he spears both of them out of their J-straps, and wham, makes his impression and looks good doing it. I'm telling you, like Braun as a heel. After that, you've got the Creed brothers and Ivy sitting around. Stack shows up, and he's like, hey. And of course, they let Brutus make some kind of stupid, like he's with the fishes, or I don't know what it was. Anyway, Stacks offers, says he's got some time. And, they let him know, hey, we've been burned before, appreciate it, but no thanks. And he says, understood. So, hey, not bad, considering they let Brutus talk. But then they got Gigi doing a promo, nice scripted promo, and JC Jane. They holler and scream. One is up top, one is below. They holler. Okay. That's that one. Then you've got no more Mr. Dar in the Heritage Cup, and he's walking around trying to get some people to help him. as a third, and nobody will. And then they come up with, what is it, Luca Cruzifino versus Vaughn. And, I'm a Vaughn fan, with Mr. Stone, and they come out with this guy's like wannabe People's Court. They even play the People's Court music. The match, Vaughn is pretty much tearing it up. The guy gets a couple moves. Then the guy goes out, gets Mr. Stone, takes the photo. There's this doggone photo again. And starts making fun. Vaughn sees it, rolls him into the ring, and beats the crap out of him, which that was the weakest point. They should have let him, really throw down on him, and they didn't. But he gets DQ'd because he doesn't make the count. And, bad DQ. Then Vaughn, after Mr. Stone tells him not to, he power bombs him on the table. And I hope they didn't expect that it wasn't set up to break, because that would have been, it would have been bad. It would have been, because it didn't. And, and then they go back to Tony D. And, he's doing his little spot there, and the funny police come, the funny police, they're funny. But they come in and, they cuff him. And it sucks. That one, the other ones, I was waiting for something kind of good at the end, and didn't work out that way. But then they have the second semifinals match to see who is going against Valkyria, and it's going to be Tiffany Stratton against Roxanne Perez. And look, this was a good match. I'm usually on Roxanne, but I really like Tiffany. I think she's great. She combines a lot of the gymnastics that she used in her collegiate days, and she has made it believable. And might I add a little, don't hate on me, but a little Owen Hartish. Owen Hart could move around the ring with some great acrobatic moves. And Lanny Poffo back in the day. But yeah, she does really good in the ring, and she sells good. So man, this was a pretty good match, man. Roxanne does a good match, and I'm thinking now that Valkyria's one that, of course, Roxanne, because Valkyria did that she would rather face Roxanne because she thought Roxanne was at the top of the women's division. And so you've got a storyline built. We're just watching the match, and the match is good, and you kind of think the ending, and maybe not. Maybe not. They give Roxanne every chance. They have the close calls. As I said, this is a good match to go back and watch. But Tiffany, I think, is going to be the next big thing in the women's division. I mean, she ends up winning this match. She counters what is it called? Papa Rocks or whatever it is. And she ends up nailing her and then being able to do that beautiful moonsault off the top rope, lands it, gets the pin, and looks good doing it. So now you've got Tiffany versus Valkyria next week for the women's championship. They can take a Roxanne out of saying that she never got beat, and now and saying she had her chance and she came up short. But then, somebody in a hoodie. You know what? The hoodies are really getting a lot of bad rap, because I like a good hoodie. But anyway, somebody runs out in a hoodie and takes out Roxanne. Roxanne down, loses the match. We have Tiffany Stratton and Valkyria next week for the championship. But then you've got Dijak and Dragunov, and they're fighting. Imagine that. They're fighting, and It looks pretty good. Dijak's kind of stiff, and he has the power moves, but sometimes he doesn't sell very good, or it just doesn't work out that well. But in this, Dragunov, he takes the lead. He looks great. He pulls the moves. One time, Dijak wants to take the stairs and do bodily harm to Dragunov, and he does a couple little wham bam thank you ma'ams, and the next thing you know, Dijak falls and headbutts himself. So yeah, pretty good. The stairs won, and they go. They end the show a little different though this week. They literally go into a promo for Lowell, Massachusetts. They just do a promo about the past history of WWE in that city. They go back and show Degeneration X. They go way back, and they show how much history has actually happened there. So they're pretty proud to be in this city. They're doing Battleground coming up this weekend. So we will see where that goes, folks. But, man, pretty good show, guys. So normally I say go back and, if you're short on time, watch a couple of matches. But, hey, go back and check this show out. It's well worth your time. So, guys, that's going to pretty much end it for me. But all right, yeah, go watch. I'll see you next week. And let's just see. Yeah, I got all the notes done. I think everything's right. So, wow, we finished out here with a good little show here. But thank you, everyone that's listening. And even if you're not, thank you. And we'll just end it here. So this is Memphis Mark coming to you from Mullet Manor. And, if you can, rescue. And for people that have asked, the puppies are doing well. So yes, rescue if you can, and always spay and neuter. And this is Memphis Mark. And you know what? I'm out.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.